Hey everybody, welcome back to another video. Hope you guys been enjoying the content on the channel as of late. Excuse me if my eye is a little bit, if I got a little pink eye going. It's just, I got something in my eye and I just can't get it out. Um, so, it looks alright though. Um, got another topic video for today. This one is kind of interesting because, um, I didn't really consider this before, but I mean, I have really considered it, but I just haven't really formally addressed it, so I figured just to do a video on it. And that has a lot to do with humor, a lot about what we find funny, specifically within the realm of movies, what we find funny, and um, a lot in how Hollywood utilizes humor in order to represent certain topics and to perhaps soften the blow with sensitive subject matter. Um, and just a more broader umbrella, just talking about like with other things too, but because lately what I have noticed, and this might be a generational thing, I don't know, but it seems like a lot of kids nowadays, people like kind of close to my age and younger, um, they're they like to excuse their mean spirited behaviors as being unfiltered, or oh, I'm just being I'm just trying to be different, spontaneous and crazy. And bless me, sorry, I just hit the mic. um for me, um I'm not sure how that is an excuse. I just don't, I don't see how you can represent it that way, because honestly, and the funny thing is that the way that I'm gonna address it, because ultimately I don't find a lot of what Hollywood, the representations of certain subjects through Hollywood and just through, it seems like just within this generation, I just never find it funny, and I don't understand how you could find humor in everything. There's that saying where it's like you should be able to find some place for laughter within any circumstance. It's like, no, I think that that's just creating a lack of empathy and just excusing your behavior as being like unfazed or overly exposed to such things. That doesn't mean you're not. It doesn't mean you're allowed to be a prick. You know, like that's something that I feel that a lot of people say as like, oh well, I'm just like this just because I see it a lot. It's like, so doesn't mean you get to be an asshole. Um, because ultimately addressing like someone's condition, let's just say like someone has something of a condition of theirs, whether that being like um OCD, or if they're like if they have like autism or something, or like Down syndrome, something along those lines. You call attention to that in a manner to only make them feel insecure about themselves. Like comedians do it all the time. They say they don't, but that's kind of what they're doing. Um, that's bullying. I mean, I'm sorry if you don't like to hear it, but it's bullying. And I know the response that people will give me with saying that. They're saying, "Oh, you're just super sensitive." It's like, it's different to be, there's a difference between being sensitive and then just being considerate. Like, I don't think that you can make a joke about anything. I don't think so. And let's put in the context of film, for example. So Strays, which I think is the worst thing I've seen this year. um I don't see how dogs having repeated sex and being abused by their owners. I'm not sure where you find humor in that, but for some reason the movie finds humor in that. Or for another, No Hard Feelings. I haven't seen the movie, incidentally, but from what I've heard, it's basically about a 30-plus-year-old woman hooking up with a fresh 18-year-old adult. Um, and it's and they try and they make it seem like it's funny, and it's like it's not. It's kind of weird. Um, you know, I mean, yeah, it's legal, but still, it's It's kind of strange. Or a film that I heard about a while ago called On the Count of Three, which addresses the topic of suicide, one of the most sensitive of subject matters. And it's a comedy. It's a comedy, from what I've heard. Now, I've not seen that movie, incidentally, but um, it's like to bring up sensitive topics like that, like suicide, or even getting even more sensitive, like shootings, rape, like stuff like that is incredibly sensitive, and be insensitive, like through your depictions or through your just addressing of the topic. That's not being unfiltered. That's like the term that a lot of kids like to use nowadays. That's not being unfiltered. You're just excusing. It's just an excuse to talk mean. It's just an excuse to be an asshole. Like, I'm sorry. There's no other word for that, you know? Um, and look, I can understand that mindset, that cynical, that like just don't care type of attitude. Like I was one of those guys last year. Like I didn't care about what I said. I just wasn't really. I was throwing that stuff out there. I was like, oh, whatever. Hey, if you're offended, blah 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 blah. But that was because I wasn't taking care of my own self. And I see the point of being respectful and trying to maintain that sort of thing. And I'm doing so nowadays, because I don't want to fall back into that mentality where, I'm just like saying all these silly, crazy things and being incredibly insensitive as a result. And I think that Hollywood also needs to be the same way, They say that they're super sensitive to this stuff, but yet they'll make anything possible humorous. It's like that's not really how the world works. There is stuff that is just not funny. And and some people should not be twisting it in where you can laugh at it or you can do this and that. It's like it's not. I don't understand it, and I don't believe the justification of like, well, it being funny softens the blow and it makes things more digestible. It's like that's undermining the actual ideas at the center of it. If your movie is about anything crazy like that, like suicide, for example, I'm not sure what person wants to go into that movie and have it be super, super, super lighthearted with jokey, jokey, joke. Oh, let's just make fun of this, blah, 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 blah. I would think I would want to take that thing super seriously. I don't want some person, being super insensitive about it. Like, no, I'd find that highly offensive. So, um, call me sensitive, call me whatever, but I'm just saying that there's just a few things in this world that I don't find that funny, and a lot of people find ways to make anything funny nowadays. And I don't see the excuse. I don't see the reason for it. For me, it's all excuses, and it's just a means of it's just you wanting to be a prick. The plain and simple. You just want to be a prick. And if you want to be a prick, that's fine. But I mean that's the freedom that you have. But, you know, I think that it's just a huge lack of empathy and a huge lack of respect. So, because I really don't understand the humor in that. And that's I believe it's a generational thing, and Hollywood is just adapting to that sort of thing because that's just where the money's at. Because this generation is just filled with people that is just like the TikTokers and the Twitter, the X now. Like it's just filled with these people that are just like absorbed by content. And they just are become so desensitized, and they think that everything is a joke. It's like it's not. It's not. It's only funny until it happens to you, and then all of a sudden you take it seriously. That's just being, you know, like to me that's just being childish. So yeah, not everything in the world is funny, guys. So some of the stuff on screen, if I take offense to it, like I took offense to Cake. Like I didn't like Cake because I found the depictions of depression and stuff like that. I found it to be pretty offensive, especially with some of the humorous approaches and some of the, just the overall nature of it. I just feel like that it was very questionable in its optics, you know, um, and like I don't see where the room for humor in addressing sensitive topics, and it's like, I know people are like saying, well, whatever happened to everyone just laughing at each other and stuff like that. It's like, it's different to laugh at yourself, but it's another to bring up a certain thing, right? And then start making jokes as if it doesn't matter. It's like, that's, you have to be respectful. You can't just go out and start saying stuff. But I'm unfiltered. That's just who I am. It's like, just stop it. So, so that's just me. Perhaps it's a generational thing. Maybe it's a bigger thing. I don't know. But for me, I've just noticed that lately with Hollywood and just in general with this new generation, like they think that everything can be turned into a joke, and it's like, it's not. I've seen like people doing like 9/11 stuff, like memes and stuff like that. It's like, guys, I don't know where you find the humor in that. Okay, like, come on, guys. Like, it's kind of ridiculous, where how far people go with this sort of stuff. So, um, but you know, so yeah, you can call me sensitive all you want, but I think I'm just being respectful, honestly. So I just choose to be respectful. So, but those are my thoughts on that. So you guys want to know, is this a generational thing, or do you guys think that there's more to it? Do you guys like Hollywood's humor in general? Like, just in general, without the offensiveness and stuff like that? It's kind of vanilla, honestly. But you guys want to know your thoughts in the comment section below. And that's going to be it for me, guys. Thank you guys for tuning in. I'm going to leave before I sneeze again. And until then, guys, I'll catch you guys in the next video.